The industrial face of Boston changes after the Civil War. During the war, the industry here had boomed, the shipbuilding industry, these other industries to manufacture the weapons of war. And of course, with the end of war, the demand for these material of war fades. We also see after the war a consolidation of capital, shedding of manufacturing jobs here in Boston, and a moving of these various heavy industries elsewhere. So between the Civil War and the turn of the 20th century, we see the beginning of a decline in Boston manufacturing as industries are being consolidated. Steel replaces iron in importance, and the American steel industry moves to Pittsburgh and the Great Lakes. Also, the development of railroads, and much of the capital for the building of railroads came from Boston, allows easier transportation and shipping of goods around the country, and that means there's less reason to have your industry located in Boston when you can just as easily locate your industry closer to the sources of metal or minerals that are needed. So we have an opening up of mineral deposits, of iron ore mining in Minnesota and Colorado and other places, and less need to have these industries located in Boston. So we see Boston being subject to the capital development of the rest of the country and its industry declining. And we have other industries actually which flourish at this time and will hold on. For example, brewing. The German communities in Boston had been producing beer along the Stony Brook in Roxbury and developing new techniques of brewing. And beer is something that is best drunk locally, so the brewing industry will be sustained for a while. In fact, one of the oldest breweries is the Boston Brewing Company, started by an Irish fellow named James Collins in the late 1860s, and it remains in operation into the 1950s, one of the oldest breweries in the country by the time it closes. Boston also has a music industry, piano manufacturing. The Steinway Company is here. And this industry, the piano manufacturing industry, is tied in with the Boston Symphony, with the Handel and Haydn Society, with these other classical music communities, as Boston will have a New England Conservatory, and Henry Lee Higginson, who had commanded regiments in the Civil War, becomes the big chief backer of the Boston Symphony Orchestra. So we have, on the one hand, Boston shedding heavy industries, developing other industries, but these industries, too, will move out in the 20th century. One of the biggest events here in Boston's redevelopment after the war was the Great Fire of November of 1872 that destroyed 770 buildings in the financial district of Boston, the area really between Old South Meeting House and South Station. Completely destroyed in this fire. 13 people died, miraculously only 13 people, but also most of the town's newspapers, the warehouses, and also a lot of the capital was wiped out in the Great Fire of November of 1872. There is some speculation that the Panic of 1873 was exacerbated by the fact that Boston's financial district had been wiped out. But in the wake of the Great Fire, of course, the financial district is rebuilt, an improved financial district, as again Boston takes this opportunity to improve, putting in a better water system to prevent future conflagrations like this one. And also after the war, after the fire, the insurance companies make maps of all the cities of the country so they can see what buildings are made of wood, what buildings are made of stone, what buildings are made of brick, and so that insurance companies won't be devastated by payouts in the wake of fires. And also Boston changes construction techniques, eliminating the mansard roofs that had helped that particular fire to spread. So we have, after the war, the industrial face of Boston changing, with consolidation of industries, the shedding of manufacturing jobs, the iron industry moving out. We have the piano manufacturing and brewing continuing, but Boston is shifting from being a manufacturing city to being a different kind of city. And the Great Fire both devastates the financial district, but also allows it to rebuild.